Allow yourself to feel, to breathe, and to connect, because ultimately this is what yoga is. It's about uniting the mind, body, and the breath. Think about what it means to you to live with an open heart. Let's take 5 rounds of breath together, focusing on deepening the inhalation and lengthening the exhalation. So draw a big breath in. And exhale, drawing the navel in closer to the spine. And reverse, inhale, expand your belly, lengthen through the spine. Breathe out, pushing the remaining air out with the use of your diaphragm. Inhale. Exhale. In. Maximize the space between the vertebrae. And exhaling, allow the body to settle. Just one more. And then relax your breath. Open your eyes. Staying in a seated position, cross-legged to begin with. Bring the hands to your knees. And as you inhale, bring the chest forward. Focus on the anterior pelvic tilt. So normally we have a tendency for the pelvis to go back, so it tilts back, but you want to bring it forward, lifting the breastbone forward and up, gently look up. And then as you exhale, reverse. So squeeze your core, bring the sacrum closer to the mat. Really feel the flexion in the spine. 3 more times. Breathing in. And then out. Inhale. Exhale. In. And out. Inhale back to the center. We're going to change the position of the legs, still focusing on what's happening in the pelvis. So bring the feet more or less hip distance apart, hands on the knees, and again you draw the lower belly in, so as though you wanted to tilt the pelvis forward. If you want, you can open your legs a bit wider to create more space, bringing the chest through and up. Breathing in. And then as you exhale, round your backs. Inhale to come forward. And exhale back. So 3 more times. Focus with each inhalation to creating that length through the spine. And moving from the pelvis. Because to have a good back bend, it means that you're able to execute that movement in your pelvis. Then come back to the center. gonna warm up the core. So normally, especially if it's a beginner's class, I wouldn't advise doing lots of core because then the muscles here shorten. And if you want to come into a back bend, obviously you need to have a strong and open energy line in the front of the body. But as you're my advanced student, then you already have that suppleness in the body. So by implementing a bit of core, you can deepen the core awareness and activate the deep core muscles. And it's not like we're going to do a whole lot. So it's just a little bit to bring some heat into the body as we're going into quite deep back bends. So staying in the same position with the feet down, bring the hands behind you. The elbows are bending towards the back of the room and bring the knees up towards your chest. So you got the posterior pelvic tilt, bringing the sacrum down, and as though you wanted to bring the knees towards your armpits. So you can open the knees, so that will give you more space. Draw the lower belly in and squeeze it. Breathe into the chest, into the back of your heart. Keep squeezing. You should already feel something happening in the body. Pete, bring the knees a bit higher. I know you can do it. So knees closer towards your shoulders. That's it. And then come back to the center. Maybe open through the chest. And then we come back. I'm going to move into a hollow back from this position. So bring the hands further behind so you've got a bit more space. Or maybe if it feels better, closer to you. Lift the legs up. And then as you inhale, extend. So squeeze your glutes, your lower back is on the mat. And then inhale, front body squeeze, that's it. Open as you inhale and exhale, come up. All right, 3 more times. Inhale, squeeze, exhale, come back. Tilt the pelvis back, lower the sacrum, and rise. Inhale and exhale. One more for good luck. Inhale and hold. Your sacrum is on the mat, your lower back is pressing down. Squeeze your glutes, legs are straight. Hold it and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Squeeze the knees towards your shoulders. Breathe. Gonna hold it for 3, 2, 1. And release. Roll over the legs. Come into all fours. Moving into cat-cow. Initiate the movement from the pelvis. So breathing in, drop your chest, lift the tailbone up, look up, and exhale. Wrap the shoulder blades around your upper back. Twice more. Breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. So stay here for a moment, press the mat away, squeeze your core, and come to the center. Extend your right leg back and lift it up. Extend your left arm. Breathe in here and exhale round your back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, squeeze and hold. Stabilize through the right shoulder girdle. Keep breathing. Come back to the center, the other side. So inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Breathe in, long spine, long body. Exhale, squeeze. One more time, inhale. And exhale, squeeze and hold. Press down through the left fingertips. And release. So give your body a little shake. Moving on, we're going to extend. And then round, so elbow to knee. And keep switching from here to here. But this time, as you do that, you want to drop your belly, lift the leg and arm as high as you can. but the gaze is down. So rather than just lengthening like we did earlier, you want to already find that back bend in the body. So drop your belly down and allow the pelvis to tilt forward. And then squeeze. So 3 more times, extending and lifting, look down, come back. Inhale and exhale. And 1 more time, hold it here. Reach the left. So the right foot up, left arm up, and then bend the right leg. Grab hold of the foot. If you need a strap, use a strap. Push the foot into the hand so you can roll the left shoulder out. So we've got external rotation. Lift through the inner edge of the right thigh. Look down. Press down through the right hand. And breathe. So feel what's happening in the spine. And then gently release. Come back to the center. The other side. So starting with extension and lifting the right arm, left leg. Exhale, round. 4 more times. Breathe in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in and out. 1 more time. Inhale and hold. Lift it as high as you can. Gaze down so you're not straining the neck. Lift it just a little bit higher. And then exhale, release. Shake it out. Grab your block. We're going to move into puppy pose. Hips over the knees. And walk your hands, first of all, towards the block. So thumbs coming together. Drop the forehead down. External rotation of the shoulders. So rolling the triceps in. Breathing into the space between the shoulder blades. That's it. And breathe. Drop the armpits down. Gently pull your belly button in. And then inhale, push yourself back up. And you can either do the same option, or you're going to use a block and place the hands on the block and drop the forehead down. Remember about wrapping the shoulder blades around your upper back. Lift your tailbone up towards the sky. And then inhale, push yourself up. Walk your hands in. We're switching. Oh, we didn't do the back bend on the other side. We need to do that. Can't just leave it like that. So left leg extended, right arm. Once you found your balance, then bend the left leg and grab hold of the foot. Then kicking the foot in into the hand helps you open through the right shoulder. And then by lifting through the inner edge of the left thigh, you make sure that you're not splaying out to the side, but actually you're finding the back bend from your spine and the pelvis. Just a little bit longer. And then exhale, release. Coming back onto the belly. So grab your block or a bolster if you have and place it like really close so that your floating ribs, so the bottom of your ribs, is on top of the block. Then place the elbows down and roll the shoulders back and down. If one block isn't enough, you can use 2. But if you've got 1, you have to work a little bit harder. So the reason why we place the elbows down is because then you have to engage the muscles in the back line of your body, roll the shoulder blades down, squeeze the shoulder blades together to facilitate this opening. Gently tuck your chin down, gaze down at the tip of your nose. Gently press the tops of the feet down so your knees lift, but relax through the glutes. If you squeeze through the glutes, you create tension and compression in the sacrum, and that can cause, aches or too much compression in the lower back. Okay, so you can stay here if you like, or you can bring the hands to the bottom, to the block, and then push yourself up. So the elbows are by the sides of the body. Relax through the glutes. If there's any dull ache in the lower back, you don't want to do that. Surrender and try to settle here, allowing the body to open, the spine to lengthen. Gently engage the deep core muscles and drop the shoulders down. Keep breathing calmly. Just a little bit longer. And then slowly lower down. Come down onto your forearms. Remove the block, just for now. Hands by your low ribs. Inhale, up dog. And exhale into down dog. Pedal your feet. Invite any movement that feels appropriate. Remember about the external rotation on the shoulders. It's really important in back bend, so try to cultivate and just use as a reminder in every pose what's happening in the shoulders. So then bring the left foot in the center line, which just make it a bit easier to balance. Point your right foot and inhale your right leg up. Exhale down 5 more times. Inhale, exhale, in and out. Breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale, and inhale and hold. Gentle pulses. Keep lifting the leg as high as you can. External rotation through the shoulders. Keep pulsing. And then roll over into plank. Right leg is lifted. And then exhale, chaturanga. Drop all the way down to your belly. Hands by your low ribs. Prepare for 3 cobras. So inhale, roll up. Use the muscles in your back. Exhale, slowly descend. Twice more. Inhale, press the tops of the feet down. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale and hold it. Drop the shoulders down. Relax through the neck. And exhale, come back to your belly. Inhale, make your way into all fours. And then transition. So you're sitting with the legs extended. Grab your block or whatever you've got available. And shift your hips up so you can place it. First, start on the lowest or medium setting and place it underneath your sacrum. So it's that bony bit of your hips. And relax through the pelvis. So really let this body part to relax. So if that feels okay, maybe you want to extend through both legs and they can roll out. Breathe into your belly. Allow the front body to expand, especially the region around your hip bones. So the iliac crest. If this feels good, you can clasp the opposite elbow and extend the arms behind you. Just a couple of breaths here. So passive stretch for the iliopsoas muscles. Some opening through the chest. So then you can release the arms, and maybe if it feels okay, bring the right knee in towards your chest. Give a squeeze. This time activate through the left leg, gently pressing down through the left heel. We've got eccentric contraction for the hip flexors. And then switch legs. Remember that one side might feel a lot different. Respect that. Just breathe. Just take it all in. And then extend the legs. If you're happy here, stay here. If you want to turn it up a little bit, then bend your legs. We need to change the setting of the block. So I come onto the balls of my feet and then find the highest setting or one up, whatever you prefer. It will be more unstable. So just be mindful of that. And then you can stay here, extend through the legs, maybe arms over the head. This time interlace the fingers, but roll the triceps in. So remembering about that external rotation through the shoulders. Breathe into your belly. Notice how the body is responding. Which parts feel more or less open. And then release the fingers. If you want to, you can bend one knee in. I can't bring it all the way to my chest, so I'm just going to hold it behind the right thigh. Press them through the left foot. And then slowly release the right leg and switch. Just because the block is unstable, you want to just move mindfully. And then release, bend both legs. Shift the hips up, remove the block, and slowly bring yourself all the way down. Constructive rest pose, knees knocking towards each other. Just notice how that feels. And then I'm going to come up for a back bend with the block. So we did that on Tuesday. I'm going to place the block on the middle or the lowest setting. Don't use the highest one because it's a bit more narrow. And drop your shoulder blades on top of it. And then you can use a cushion underneath the head or another block. If it feels okay, you can just drop the head down and work out what you want to do with your legs. And extend them, bring them into butterfly shape. Arms beside you, maybe interlace the fingers and extend. So finding some activation in the muscles around your armpits. As you breathe in, cultivate an uplifting quality. Breathing out, surrender, and feel grounded. One more round of breath. And exhale, arms beside you. And you can first bring the chin all the way to the chest. Prop yourself up in the elbows and then walk yourself back up. You're going to remove the block. Just stay here for a moment. If you want to, you can gently round the back. You never want to come into a deep forward fold straight after back bends, but some flexion is okay. And just stay symmetrical. Then cross your legs underneath, transition into plank. And hold it, press down through the hands, stabilize through the shoulders, squeeze your core, and hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, whichever way you like. Drop down to your belly. Hands beside you, the back of the hand is pressing down, feet together. Shalabhasana. So as you inhale, roll the shoulders back and down using the strength of your muscles. Lift your chest up. Press the back of the hands down and feel the activation of the muscles around your spine. Hold it. Hold it. And as you exhale, release. This time, as you inhale, you want to lift the hands and reach back. So see if that can help you lift the chest a little bit higher. Reaching towards the feet. Drop the shoulders down, the shoulder blades towards your hips. And then exhale, release. One more, you can do either or if you feel like it's okay for the shoulders, you can keep the feet apart for this one. You interlace the fingers, keep the heels of the hands together apart, and the same principle as you come into Cobra or Shalabhasana, shoulders back and down, lift up, and this time lift the legs as well. So the strongest version of these three really helps to strengthen your back and improve your posture. Squeeze your core, lift the legs a bit higher, and exhale, gently release. Place one of your cheeks down to the mat. Relax, you can support your head with your hands. Find your breath if you've lost it. Collect a little strength. So now, bend both legs and bring the feet as close to your bum as you can. So the easier version to come into Dhanurasana, or the bow pose, is that from this squeeze in the legs, you grab hold of one foot or ankle and then the other. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then as you inhale, you flex the feet and lift up. So it's the same principle as with an actual bow, that if you don't pull back, you can't shoot the arrow. The other option is you can point your feet and lift the feet as high as you can. Hold it here, breathe. And then exhale, gently release and bring the arms down. Place the other cheek down. We're going to try Dhanurasana one more time in just a moment, but we're going to try to access it from in the active way. So it's a lot harder, but it gives you an idea of how much your back muscles can do and should be doing in back bends, because back bends aren't passive. When you're ready, bend both legs, and like in the second version of locust pose, reach your hands back towards the feet, and then grab hold of them if you can, and then lift up. So we're starting actively. If it's not available, just find a way to get into it and focus on communicating to the muscles in your back to be active, to be strong, and one day you'll be able to do that. Exhale, slowly release, rest. Allow the weight of your body to be received by the mat. And then inhale, lift up into your back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale into down dog. So neutralizing the spine after the back bend. For back bends, it's really important to find the external rotation in the shoulders and keep the rotator cuff muscles strong as they stabilize the girdle. So from here, you can either drop one elbow down and then the other into dolphin, or if you want to, you can drop both elbows down. So you wrap them in, spreading the shoulder blades apart and lower down. So walk the feet in, you can bend the legs if you need to. Keep hugging the elbows in. Press down through the thumbs and breathe. So push the chest forward towards your legs. I know dolphin is really hard. And breathe. Talk to your shoulders. Just a little bit more. And then drop the knees down. Come into a cross-legged position or sitting on your heels, whatever you prefer. So shake your shoulders out. Extend your arms out into a T. So reach out. And then I'm going to do small circles in. So keep breathing and doing that. So this is a really good and accessible way to strengthen the rotator cuff muscles. So if you do it every day, you'll notice that the dolphin gets a little bit easier. And then come back. So reverse your circles. And notice where you feel that movement. Feel your arms and all the tiny muscles that participate. And then come to the center, strong reach. And then flip your palms up and then point your fingers down. So strong energy line all the way from the shoulders to the fingertips. Maybe lift the arms a bit higher. And then exhale, release. Step your right foot between the hands, coming into low lunge. Sink your hips forward and down. So stretching through the iliopsoas muscles, a little bit through the quadriceps, where you want to find that lift of your spine out of the pelvis. So you can grab hold of the sides and lift up, maximizing the space between the vertebrae. So in back bend, it's really important to lift the sternum forward and up rather than just come down. So then lift your chest up, roll the shoulders back and down. Your breastbone is lifting up. Maybe bring the hands at your heart, or if it feels good, you can extend the arms behind, interlace all fingers but index fingers for Kali Mudra, external rotation of the shoulders, and breathe. Gaze at the tip of your nose. Bring the hands at your heart, return to the center. Then tuck your back toes. You can keep the hands on your hips, and as you inhale, lift up into high lunge. So we're now activating the muscles we've just stretched. So, well, they still stretch, but now we've got the eccentric contraction, and you know that's my favorite. Then slowly exhale, drop the left knee down. We're going to do it twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, descend. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Now we're going to hold. Inhale, straighten the back leg. It's really strong and active. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Frame the front foot. Step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga of your choice. Inhale, back bend. Roll the shoulders back. And exhale into down dog. Step your left foot between the hands, right knee down. So settle, inhale, easy lift up, and gauge what's going on this side. With each inhalation, lengthen through your back, accentuating the lift in your breastbone. So then again, if you want to use the hands to help you, using the muscles in the lower back, try to lift your spine out of the pelvis, hands at the heart, or interlace them. And find your back bend in Anjaneyasana. So hook the shoulder blades against the back of the ribs. Keep reaching the heart forward and up. Focus on your breath. Slowly return to the center, hands on hips. Tuck your back toes. Inhale, straighten the back leg. Exhale, slowly bring it down. That's it. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time, inhale and hold. Keep your hips square. Make sure the back leg is straight and strong. So good long spine. Smile. Bring the hands down, framing the left foot. Step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, down dog. Drop down to your knees. And lift your hips up. Moving into camel or Ustrasana. You want to have the legs or the knees as wide as your hips. If you do it too wide, then you create an external rotation in the thigh bone, which translates into compression in the lower back and sacrum, which is what we don't want to do. So the narrower, the more narrow, the better. But then it gets a bit harder. So hip width apart will be fine. And then the same principle, you can press the thumbs into your sacrum and lift the chest up, long spine, elbows in. So stay here for a moment. Notice how that feels. And then gently release. Sink your hips down. Relax your arms. Find your breath. And let's come again. So this time, you want to internally rotate your shoulders because that helps to lift the trapezius up. So then in the full expression of the pose where you drop the head back, you've got more length in the cervical spine, which is often neglected. So when you do this, there's too much compression here. If you do this, then it feels more accessible. So shoulders in for now. Gently push the hips forward, but lift your chest up. So by pushing the hips forward, you don't want to create too much traction or compression. And then maybe you slide your hands down towards the knees or calves. Keep rolling the shoulders in. If it feels good, you can drop the head back. 3 rounds of breath. Try to relax through the glutes. And then head back up first and slowly sink the hips down. So sometimes it might feel accessible to come into Ustrasana, but it doesn't feel good to drop the head back. So then don't stress about it, just don't do it. Let's come up again. So just so you get a feel of the more accessible version, tuck your toes back, roll the shoulders in, find that arch through the spine, maximizing the space, and then you can drop the fingertips to your heels, maybe drop the head back. And with each breath in, you want to re-establish the length in your spine.
Relax through the glutes. And then bring the hands to your hips. Leave the head as where it is and slowly sink the hips down. And then you can bring the head up. So the deeper you go in camel, the more you want to leave the neck alone and kind of, when you come back, use the strength of your core. And then you bring the head up, because otherwise you strain the muscles in the neck a little bit too much. Let's go again. If you found this challenging in any way, just do this version, because with backbends you need to be really cautious, because like I said, I don't do backflips every day and it just really takes time. When you do backbends, you kind of like damage, like in a good way, like the nerve endings, because if something was solidified and you try to undo it, it might feel a bit tender. And especially with spine, we need to be extremely careful what we do. So if you found it challenging, stay with the feet flex. If you feel open and ready for it, keep the feet flat. So gentle rotation of the thigh bone, even if you don't feel like anything is happening, if you visualize that there's some internal rotation, that will translate to broadness through the sacrum. So then lift the spine, lift the chest up, internal rotation of the shoulders, and then you can slowly bring the hands so your palms land on your heels. Push the hips forward, lift the chest up. Internal rotation in the shoulders to lift the trapezius up. And then, if that feels good, you can drop the head back. So 5 breaths here. Try to deepen inhalation and lengthen the exhalation to calm your nervous system. Remind yourself that this is an environment you've created, you're doing it deliberately, and everything's okay. If you feel like you need to come out, use the strength of your core to lift up. We've got 1 more breath in and out. Hands to your hips. In uniform, lift up. Sink the hips down. Relax. So close your eyes. Allow the spine, the body to settle. Notice what you can feel, like energy-wise, any sensations in the body. And then open your eyes. Are you up for a bit more? Or was it like enough back bending? Give me a hand up if you want a bit, turn it up a notch. Okay, cool. So if, for those of you who don't, it's perfectly fine. You can do the Ustrasana we did, or if you want to come into a twist, reclining twist on your back and start relaxing, it's perfectly fine. Or if you want to give it a go, maybe you'll change your mind. I'm going to start standing. So essentially what we're going to do is go through a basic flow into 3-legged dog, open up through the hips, transition into wild thing, and then if you feel like it, you can come into a wheel. So maybe I'll first demonstrate. So 3-legged dog, open up, maybe funky side plank, come into your wild thing. And then if you feel like, Pete, you're warm enough, then you can start spinning in the right shoulder to bring the left hand down, and you transition into wheel. So then you get back the same way you came, and you're in down dog. So we're warm enough to do this. Just A, if you feel up for it, and B, if you've still got energy to do that.
So come to the top of your mat. Tadasana Samastiti here. And then inhale, rise up, length through the spine. Exhale, come into a fold. Feel the movement of the spine. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, drop back into Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bend it and slowly transition. So shifting your weight forward. Begin to spin on the back foot, lifting the left hand, land the right foot. From here, open through the front of the chest and see how your right shoulder is. So I need to shuffle. And then begin to spin. So the action is coming from the right shoulder to open through the chest. You bring the left hand down. Readjust the position of your hands and your feet. Straighten the arms. Shift your chest forward. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Hold it here. Just a couple more breaths. And then if you want to come back the way you came, bend the right leg and step it closer. So then you can spin on the right hand and transition into down dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, down dog. Are you ready for the other side? Breathe in, right leg up. Exhale, bend and roll the hip open. Shift the weight forward so you've got more space and you can keep the left leg open. Begin to lift the right hand up. Gently land. Remember, one side is stronger than the other. So I presume your left hand, if you're right-handed, will be weaker. So just be mindful. Then roll through the left shoulder. Bringing the right hand down. Extend the rotation of the shoulders. Shift the chest. And breathe. So trust yourself. Trust yourself to keep an open heart. And then we come back. So spin on the left hand. Make your way into down dog. Inhale, plank. One last flow of the practice. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale into child's pose. Well done. Knees together apart, whatever you prefer. You can support your head with a block with your hands. Stay in any symmetrical position, just to allow the spine to settle. It's always important to do that after back bending. And then transition onto your back to neutralize the spine. After back bending, always come into a twist. So if you choice, keep the left leg straight, right leg bend, and bring it over. But if you know any other supine twist that you like, you enjoy, then go for it and treat yourself. Keep your head in any position that you feel drawn to. Slowly return to the middle and then switch sides. No force, easy does it. Just letting go of any muscular engagement. And instead focusing more on reaping the benefits of the practice, turning the attention inwards, allowing the body to assimilate everything that you've practiced, both physically as well as emotionally, spiritually. And then roll yourself back to the center and get comfy for your Shavasana. So grab any props, turn the lights off, and to manifest one more time your receptivity, your openness, your welcoming attitude to the world. Keep your palms up and repeat quietly in your head, I live with an open heart. Breathe into your chest. Notice a sense of softness, perhaps kindness, gratitude. Notice how your heart feels now. Notice any change in your energy. Begin bringing your awareness back into your physical body, your surroundings. Invite any movement that feels intuitive. And when you're ready, roll over onto one side and stay there. Just reacquainting with the body, noticing what's changed, what's shifted. And to close this practice, I've got a quote for you by Helen Keller. The best and most beautiful things in this world cannot be seen or even heard, but must be felt with the heart. So when you're ready, bring yourself back into a comfortable seat. Can unmute yourself so we can close the space together. So close your eyes, bring the hands at your heart. And one more time, connect to your heart space. Gently bow your head, expressing thanks to yourself for carving out the time to be here. Feeling grateful for your body and all the wonderful things it does. And feeling hopeful for everything that you will be able to do. And take a deep breath in. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you very much for your practice with me today. Namaste. Well done. How did you get on? Have you got any questions?
I got all hot. I opened the window, and then when I get hot, my energy level just goes.
Oh, understandably, because especially with back bends, they are energizing. They give you that instant rush. So obviously that brings your body temperature up. So then, having to control your breath and keep moving, it makes sense that your energy levels can drop. You get used to it and you get better. Your endurance and back bends increases. But as with anything, there are days that you're going to be loving it. You're going to feel super open and, like ready to open your heart and stuff like that. And some days it will just not feel great. Like I remember not long ago, I wanted to deepen my backbending practice and I was using my yoga wheel. Also like, yeah, this is going to be fun. And then I went into a backbend. It wasn't even like super deep. And I got like an instant like bout of anxiety. But that's what backbends do. They bring out the stuff you need to deal with, which can sometimes be overwhelming. But then you come back to your breath or you back out and, visit another day. There's nothing wrong with that.
I kind of fell towards the end. I just kind of went, I get queasy if I don't do it.
And that's also to do with the blood, increased blood flow that can make you feel a bit quizzy or like you're going to pass out. Obviously, the nervous system is aligned with the spine. So when you go into back bending, you stimulate it. And like I said about the adrenal glands, so it's the sympathetic, so fight or flight. So you might feel a bit panicky, like you said, quizzy. So you need to come back to your breath to try to bring a sense of equilibrium into the system. But then again, it doesn't always work. It's just one of the things. It's just with practice, you get more accustomed to the sensations that back bends bring or release, and they're a bit more manageable. So rather than being like with emotions, the more you start noticing what's going in your head, what emotions begin to surface in certain situations, then you've got that buffer where you can observe what's happening and just be aware of it without being pulled in that direction. So next time, if you pay close attention to and your body has gotten used to, you might notice that, oh, I'm feeling a bit, a bit anxious, a bit quizzy, but then you deepen the breath and observe how that affects the sensations in your body and perhaps the thoughts that are running through your head. Okay. Any more?
That transition was horrible.
What, into wheel?
Well,
It's fine. It takes a long time, and you when you think of back bends, you don't often think how much mobility you need to have in the shoulders. But so you start with external rotation, but then you need to bend it, and then you need to keep both of them aligned, and then, you know, find strength to open and then hold it all in place. So then if you add transitioning into that, then you need to have the more like dynamic mobility. So it just takes time. But anything that you do to strengthen the rotator cuff muscles, that will grant the stabilization in the shoulder girdle, so then the transitions should be easier. But then if you said you've got something wrong with the wrist at the moment, then you don't want to aggravate it, because, you know, you've got to use it for work and stuff. That's the thing. Okay, thank you very much. Hope you have a lovely evening, and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Much love. Bye.